Everybody's famous for something, and that's mine. Let's go! Sup? Oh, is it Friday? I know it is. Often imitated, never duplicated. That fool with no hair that shouts like Ric Flair. Woo! What? Woo! The R8RBEAR! R8RBEAR! One for the nation. One for Max Crosby's mama. Oh, trust me, I've hung out with her a couple times now. She's hella dope. She's so cool. Her husband he's so chill, nice guy. Super cool family. Their whole family is just on the rise in a big way. Max has a brother too that's a model, good looking dude. They got their thing together. I don't know if you guys have seen Max Crosby's daughter, but damn, she is so cute. Super. R8RBEAR! One for the baby. Let's see if I can do this without wearing it this time. Here it comes. All right. I'm just letting my song go till the gong. I like to hear the gong. Alexa, stop. That was perfect, love. So what's up, everyone? Welcome to the show. Please consider subscription to R8RBEAR family page. It's just $5 a month. You can cancel at any time. But that's just on Facebook. On YouTube, it's totally free. So if you can, check out my YouTube. Share it with your friends. If you don't, you don't love me. Tradish! R8RBEAR Live. First comment. Woo! MVP tonight goes to the heavyweight champion of the world on YouTube, Jim Vanderlyn. Shut up, Jim, okay? I read all your comments, prancing around my medal round like you did tonight. Second place, my silver medal. The budding rivalry continues. Mark Bargus Bear. You always give me a good bear. Never do it differently. Just those 5 emojis and bear. Leave all that other mess to Jim Vanderlyn. He's like sending a message. It's almost like smoke screens, and it's like all complicated. 3 smoke screens in this one, then just 1 big one, then 2 small ones. Troy Gill! No, that's all you get for a bronze, Troy Gill, okay? Now get back in line and try to win tomorrow. Whew, okay. R8RBEAR Live. First comment, woo, Facebook. Oh, we have something happening. This is starting to become a regular thing. Lucky Pace! Lucky, what are you doing here again? He's got all the brains. He's got all the looks. Now he's trying to prance around at my medal round. What are you doing? And you should hear the guy's voice. He sounds like Barry Manilow. He's got this thing going. That's incredible. Second second place, my silver medal. And you guys know I love it when a Raiderette slides into the sausage fest that is my medal round because it's got so many dudes. Well, tonight, our silver medalist, Tony Carpenter Evans. That's Air Force in the house. You guys show some respect and thank her for her service because she was in the Air Force. And you know as well as I do that that is hard as hell. I think she's awesome. Oh, you should hear how she goes at her son. Third place, my bronze medal, and we have another Raiderette and one of my favorites. This should give you a clue as to who it is. Corinna! Woo! True! Hello! Now, can we get on with the show already? Gosh, you guys! I mean, where's the time at? What time is it? I don't think that took me that long, did it? Was that long? All right, so what's up, everyone? Welcome to the show. Let me greet everyone else real quick. Travis Kelly, what's up? Welcome to the show. Appreciate you, brother. Bob Standard, my good friend in the house. What's up, Bob? Welcome to the show. Anna Diaz Rincon, my first subscriber ever. The first one ever. The first one that believed in a brother and never left. Anna Diaz Rincon. Vicky Orr, Bear! Thank you, Vicky. Mark Vargas. Oh, thanks, Jim. Yep, Anna Diaz says hi to everyone. Denton Rhodes. No, I'm not going to do it right now, Denton. No, I'm not going to do it right now, Denton Rhodes. Space Force! I mean, he takes the time to put in the aliens and, so he kind of owed him. Reyes Antonio, what's up? Welcome to the show. Jesse Parker, my French shoe designer. What's up? And shirts. Jesse, I was killing the guy just the other day, I swear to you. I had on my Rick and Morty shirt that you made for me. Custom. That's right. Rick and Morty, custom. It's the only one in the world, and it's mine. He doesn't even wear one, and he made it. But it's dope. And the kid asked me where he could get it, and I said, nowhere. He's all, come on, man, I really like that shirt, and I'm a big Rick and Morty fan. Tell me, what website did you get it from? I got it from the website Jesse Parker. You can just get over that because he's my friend, and this is custom. Now beat it. I didn't say the beat it part, but I did give him the hand gesture once I told him you can't buy it. Vicky Ginn, Bear! Hi, Vicky. Good to see you. Hope you're feeling well. Joey Rivera, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Steeler Val said, hi, Mr. Bear. Tommy, Mommy, and Grampy are all here, but Mommy is getting his dinner. Oh, okay, no problem. I'll still be here when she gets back. Larry Brooks Jr., how you doing, brother? Welcome to the show. I appreciate that. Good evening and blessings out to you. Yes, Bob, the weekend, it's always good when it's the start of the weekend. Yeah, Travis Kelly, isn't she dope? I just love her. And I know a lot of Raider fans have met her. She gets out there. You know what I mean? She's amongst the people. Richard Nunez said, man, I can't wait for the draft season to start. Richard, I'm super excited too because I honestly think that we're all going to go into it, hoping that he does this and hoping that Tom Telesco does that. But in reality, no matter what he does, I'm already getting the sense that Raider Nation is going to get it. You know what I mean? By the way he makes picks. I honestly think that there's a very good chance that the hype that Penix might fall because of his previous injuries. I think that's cool and all, but at the same time, I don't think any of those positive, high-level, talented quarterbacks is going to go all the way down to 13. I don't see it. And with the fact that you could pick up Terrion Arnold, let me hang on. I had my notes / stuff that I could refer to. You can go and you could pick up a cornerback like Terrion Arnold, who's most scouts are already saying he's going to be a for sure Pro Bowler, that he's not just going to make it to the NFL, that he's going to be the truth. Okay, now we saw the way they talked about Sauce Gardner before he went to the Jets, and then Sauce Gardner was real good. Well, they're doing the same thing with this kid Terrion Arnold. They're basically saying all he's got to do is show up to the NFL and suit up, and as long as he's healthy, he's going to shut guys down. So I would be really excited if we just said, you know what, this whole quarterback thing, Terrion Arnold, corner, then second round, BYU, offensive tackle, Kingsley Suamate. Now, I got that from, what site was I on? Hang on, let me check this real quick, because I want you guys to be able to go see it too. Okay, that's on the Raiders Wire, but you have to dig a little bit. Just kind of, when you go to RaidersWire.com, go to Raiders stuff, and then just kind of come drag down a little bit. Now, there is a mock draft that was just finished that it wasn't Mel Kiper, it was another expert that's just basically saying he thinks that Michael Penix is going to fall to the Raiders, that he just believes he's going to make it to 13, that there's a little bit of hype that's going on like every year, but more so than ever with the idea that Penix couldn't break the top 10. There's a lot of people saying that's ridiculous. Okay, then also, I know it's confirmed now that the Cardinals are just saying, someone blow us away with an offer. Now, Jim Vanderlyn, I keep bringing up his name because he was one of the first that said, look, I don't want to hear about us, throwing away picks for this year, picks for next year, a bunch of low picks next year, and combine all that up into one sandwich, and then we get what? The number 4 pick or the number 3 pick, whatever the case may be, because the Patriots are in the market too. I don't know what it is, but I like the idea of AOC having to battle Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew is a veteran who most of you know, everywhere he's gone, the guy is a gamer. He doesn't just win, he doesn't just go out there, he competes. You know what I mean? He is not afraid. If they tell him, we need you to go deep on this one, the ball's going deep. He's not going to look at the coverage and get scared. The man will set his foot and put that ball in the air, and it'll probably get where it's going. Because the man won some games last year and earned himself the contract he got from the Raiders. He was going to get it from someone. I'm glad he got it from us. Because I know in the near future we could draft someone, like we were just saying, what if, whether Penix falls that far or not, though. I mean, there's a lot of other guys like Streeter and Penix and, Penix, listen to me, Bo Nix, Penix, Nix. That's close enough that the old man blew it. But Bo Nix, but honestly, all that hype you hear about Bo Nix not having a big arm, I know there's truth to that. Okay, but I'm sorry, guys, that you work with what you have. You know what I mean? And the 13th pick's not going to cut getting a good quarterback. And what you'd have to give up to go up is too much. To get a guy that's could be great. Not a guy you know is going to be great. A guy that might be great. And I know I've already heard all the stuff about how good Penix is. He can throw a ball on a dime. I get all that. But busted up legs are busted up legs. You know what I'm saying? And I would just like to, for once, get someone in there that we know isn't hurt. Dennis Moyer, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. I like that profile pic. Good looking fam. Tell me something good. Fool. Okay, so I gave you that. I gave you Terrion Arnold with the first pick at 13. I'm sorry, guys. I like that. Second pick, you answered the tackle issue. Now, if I was going to be aggressive, and I feel like this is aggressive. If you get to 13, we don't move up and we don't move down. Okay, we just handle our business. If we stay at 13, we probably are going to have a genuine shot at Talizi Fuaga. Now, that's the huge offensive lineman from Oregon State. Now, I'm saying, you put that bear brawling son of a monkey at the right tackle, he's going to prosper. This guy looks like he eats license plates for lunch. He's just big and mean looking. I want that guy. And, I mean, the little bit of highlights I watched of him, because you know how it is with offensive linemen, it's just, hand wrestling and blocking a guy. He was doing something that we guys and ladies who know what this is, but those of us who are in the know with this term love when offensive linemen get pancakes. Now, pancakes are not an NFL stat, but they are a coaching stat. They look for opportunities on video where their offensive lineman just got a hold of a defensive end or a defensive tackle and just put him on his back. Not just blocked him, but I mean wrestled him down to the ground like you're trying to pin him, you know what I mean? And this guy gets pancakes. And I mean, he has arms like tree trunks. I'm ready to see us pick a nice, hefty, badass tackle with that very first pick. I would love that. Go with him, then switch it up. Go with maybe the second best defensive back in the country, because Terrion Arnold's not going to fall that much further than that. He probably, if he fell past us, it would be to like 15, maybe 18, somewhere in there. He's going to be gone. Because even if the team that he lands on doesn't have a need at quarterback, at cornerback, you almost have to take him just because of the talent level he presents and what you'd get away with paying him because he fell that far. You know what I mean? Every pick you go lower, every single one, the money goes down significantly as to what you have to pay them. Do you think we're going after a quarterback in the first round of the draft? Stephen Marchand, although I just said all of that, I'm just going to say this briefly. I think that it's possible if Tom Telesco wants to do two things. One, does he want to make a splash with the Raiders? See, I mean, we have to remember, guys, he's still a guy. You know what I mean? No matter how intelligent he is or how many drafts he's had, he's still a guy. You know what I mean? He has emotions. He's still, going to have certain feelings and want to go with those. I'm wondering if this guy is going to say, hey, you know what? For 11 years with the Chargers, I never stepped on the NOS. I always tried to win a race by just pushing down the gas pedal. Always with my finger by that NOS button, but thinking, I just want to win favorably. Well, no. Fire that son of a monkey and come get somebody dope for the Raiders. I would love that. See, that's the argument to me against what Jim was saying with not paying the farm for a first. Guys, everyone that doesn't want us to pay the farm for a first, you're not looking at the NFL. If you don't have a dynamic quarterback, it can't just be a guy anymore. Like, for example, AOC to me is not just a guy. He is dynamic. Now, what is dynamic? It's multiple things. See, most people immediately go to legs. Oh, this guy's dynamic, so that means he can throw and run with his legs. And that's true. But I think he's dynamic in the sense of how he dances in the pocket, is unafraid to hold the ball and maybe hold the ball a little longer. Maybe sometimes he's going to take sacks, but he's going to make plays because he's got guts. He's willing to stand in the pocket and let the play develop, and I like that about him a lot. The problem is the guy he's competing against is that way too. Gardner Minshew, guys, is no joke. And I just want to get everyone, to bed on that. If we get a quarterback, good. If we don't, I'm good. Gardner Minshew is no joke. He is no joke. Look it up. I defy you, go on YouTube after the show's over. Look it up. He's got wins where he came from behind, had the whole team following him. He's a locker room guy. You'll hear that every time you read about him. That's the first thing you hear about. Everywhere he goes, the players love him. He is a guy's guy. You know what I mean? And I know that sounds cliche, but I'm telling you that is super important. It's super important because you have to remember, they're not playing for football. See, you and I as fans, we're seeing football, and we want heroes. We want muscles. We want speed. We want guys to beat blocks and do spin moves and stuff like that. Throw a 40-yard bomb for a touchdown. We want to see that stuff. But see, the players, it's a business for them. They want great players because they want to survive. They want to win. They don't want to get traded or have the team cut them because the team's losing anyway. Why pay a lot for an expensive, high-priced center? Let him go. You know what I mean? If you see an opportunity at a quarterback in this draft that looks legit, I think Tom should pull the trigger. I just don't think it's in his nature. So I want to make it very clear because I know I've tried to talk about every aspect of it, okay? So some of you are probably confused on my stance. I want to be clear. AOC should be given an opportunity to win the job legitimately. He had to play under two different coaches. He was playing under two different offensive coordinators. Then he was basically fighting for Antonio Pierce's job. It's not fair to do all those things to a rookie and then decide from that work that he's not good enough. No. I'm sorry. To me, he gets more leeway than Gardner Minshew does because Gardner Minshew hadn't even been a Raider yet. Okay, I don't care if he's got a contract. He hasn't put a helmet on. He hasn't went out in that field and thrown a ball yet. Until he does, he's not a Raider, not officially. So I want to see him go out there and compete with AOC, not the other way around. To me, Gardner Minshew's coming in to compete with AOC, not the other way around. This is AOC's team, as far as I'm concerned. Derek Carr is gone. Jimmy Garoppolo is old news. Thank Jesus. That was some of the most embarrassing football era ever, with Jimmy G. Watching us as Raider fans trying to learn how to accept Jimmy Garoppolo as a Raider quarterback. That was just weird from beginning to end. And I'm just glad that time is over. And the nice thing about it, too, is it'll be forgotten just because it was so short. You know what I mean? Jimmy Garoppolo will be in the wind soon. But I think if you think that Penix is gifted, you should go for it. But what I think they're going to do is go with either the corner or the offensive lineman in that order. So it's going to be corner first and an offensive lineman, or offensive lineman and a corner. I think that, because I think we're actually closer to being really good if you do those two things than we would be closer to really good by bringing on a puppy quarterback that's absolutely not going to start. There is no way Michael Penix would start. Even if we got Penix at 13, there is no way Michael Penix starts. I promise you. He won't. He could come in and dazzle everyone and do everything perfect, and they still won't start him. And the plain truth is they got to get him in there. They got to get him through the doctors. They got to make sure his legs are right. They can't trust him to be right about it. They have to let the experts do that. And I can tell you from experience with working with athletes and physiotherapy associates here in California. I used to work there with athletes every single day. And I'm telling you, we know the almost exact amount of time it takes from surgery to, rehab to then ice and stem in the weight room, eventually months later, and then so on, and all those steps. It's almost like math. We've got it down to a science. So when you hear a doctor say that's going to be 6 to 8 weeks, it's going to be 6 to 8 weeks. And if you try to go faster than that, you're going to hurt yourself. You know what I mean? Because we just know the injury. Oh, no. I know, right? Vicky Ginn had 2 Raiderettes in there tonight. Ellis Irving, what up, Bear? How you doing tonight? Ellis, I'm doing great. I'm home with the ladies. We had a great night. Myself, Mama Bear, and Little Cub went for a ride on our e-bikes, and it was dope, and everybody was asking us about them. It's a lot of fun because they're unique little e-bikes, and most people don't own one, so when they see them in person, they stop us and ask 1,000 questions. That's a lot of fun. Love you right back, Anna. What's happening with the Raiders and what's news? Troy Gill, I'll be honest with you. What's news is what I'm giving you right at this moment. I should have just said that more emphatically. I'm almost sure now. Let me just make that point. What's in the news is that the Raiders are hard looking at an offensive lineman. They've already had a few in the building. They've had players at other positions in the building, but the later and closer you get to the draft, those are usually, I found that usually as you get closer to the draft, that's kind of a giveaway by most teams, not just the Raiders. Most teams won't talk to the person they like the most until either like the first guy and get it out of the way, or right at the last minute, like the 2 nights before the draft's going to happen. I want to have you in for a meeting. Different teams feel differently about how that looks. Some people think that you're trying to trick everyone by acting like, if I have him in at day 1 when we can interview them, it means I have no interest in him. I'll just get him in and get him out of the building. And if I wait until the very last minute when interviews are almost, not allowed anymore, and I have him in at that point, that means I really want that guy, et cetera, et cetera. You never know how one team or another will interpret that. Bear, can you shout out my wife, Cherie, pronounced Cherie? Oh, I said it right anyway. She's trying to sleep next to me. Well, it's messed up. So, yes, I'll do it. Cherie! That's right, it's your alarm clock, woman. Get up for work. Let's go right now. Travis Kelly had this recording made specially for you, Cherie. Okay, so that when you hear it every morning, right at 7 a.m., you get up and you get that. I almost said get that button gear. No, wait, I did say it. Glenn Medina, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Whoever just came into the show, hi. Welcome on in. I swear we were talking about football. No, Glenn Medina, they're not cheaters. You just got to be faster. Wills Duncan, I've been sitting on Terry Arnold. I love that guy. Once you go behind him, the talent level, there's like 2 or 3 other guys. But that guy, Quinion, I think it's Quinion Mitchell, they think of him as like the number one cornerback. I think he's probably going to go in the top 10. He'll go at like 6, 7, or 8, somewhere in there. He's just too good to go much further. I don't think he would fall to us. I would love if we made a trade up to get him. That would be hard. Because you know as well as I do, Raider Nation, come on. We've always, well, not always, but we have a great history of having shut down, locked down, hard-hitting cornerbacks. You know what I mean? So Asamoah and Fast Willie Brown and Tatum and so on and so on. Hey, Stephen Shaw, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. It's my guy right there. Greetings, Raider Bear. How did you make a pretty good day even better? A hug from my daughter and my grandson and Val's excellent lasagna. I'm jealous. Jealous. I got something in mind for you and Linda Bear. Oh, JP. Nice. Appreciate that, brother. I do. Anything will be possible in the draft this year. And, honestly, I'm kind of hoping we keep it boring. I hope we keep it boring. I don't like the idea of wasting a valuable spot on a quarterback. Why not get an offensive lineman that's like incredible, right? That hard blasting son of a monkey I mentioned earlier from Oregon State. We plaster him at right tackle. No one gets anywhere near our quarterbacks, and whoever happens to win the job is going to have all the time in the world because the offensive line's only going to get better. They're working on that, and it's coming around. Tanamoku said ESPN had those picks, I think. I don't know if ESPN had it or not, honestly. I was watching what I was watching on Raider Wire and also Bleacher Report. And what was the other one? Hang on, I got it right here. And, well, Raiders.com, obviously. And then, what was this one? And that's Silver and Black Nation. Silver and Black Nation, to me, is awesome. They always sort of, like, they try to do their articles like I do my show. They try to give you every angle of something instead of just saying, it's this, you know what I mean, when they don't have proof or evidence, and then when they're wrong, no one holds them to it. I hate that. Mr. Bear, I'm glad you seem to be feeling better. Me and Mommy were praying for you. Tommy, I really always appreciate that, and I would have to tell you, if you always pray for me like that, and then I feel better the next day, what do you think that was? That was you and Mommy, and I really appreciate it. All right, next question. Before I get all teary-eyed and hug that boy through my camera. Joe Milton is there. Okay. Well, I like that. I want to keep getting better. I just want to keep getting better. Raider, I think AP is a wild card, and I think he's a bit of a poker player. I said that to say I don't think anybody has any idea what he's going to do in the first round, but I trust him. Doc Raider, I agree with that because I did joke, the other night that a general manager is just... he's just giving the head coach ideas. You know what I mean? Usually the head coach has a say in who that pick will be because he has to know that particular player will fit into what he does. For example, sometimes a general manager wants a certain offensive lineman. And then the coach will step in and say, okay, but that guy's monstrously big, and I know he's really good, but we have an offensive line that moves. It likes to shuffle left and right and trick guys with phony play action and things like that, late draws and things like that. Those are all offensive plays with the offensive line that's mobile. That guy's 6'6", 370 pounds. That ain't mobile. So you see what I'm saying? So if the coach has a better understanding of the player and the GM just sees the talent, sometimes they have to kind of come together on that, and you just hope we have that kind of chemistry. Bear, have you seen that running back from UCLA, Carson Steele? Any thoughts on him? He looks good, maybe as an undrafted free agent. I also saw some interest in the running back for Texas. Excuse me if I'm forgetting his name now. Again, I have my notes all across the screen. Let me see if I can find him. Okay. Late round running backs like Michigan's Blake Corum and Texas' Jonathan Brooks. I understand that Jonathan Brooks of Texas may actually have a sit-down scheduled with the Raiders, and it's just a matter of when we hear about it or if we hear about it. But I have heard strong things about the kid from Texas, potentially with the 4th pick or the 5th pick to the Raiders, if he's still there. and I think he may be. It will be good to see quarterbacks battle for the number one spot. They will put all their effort in the game. Well, and Anna, not only, and great point, and I love that profile picture. That was so nice, you and your husband. I think it's cool if they go offensive linemen and go with just a real furniture mover at number 13 in the first round. Just go with one of those guys and then let these quarterbacks battle it out. Okay, we don't have to have Superman at quarterback. But we all get draft fever. You know what I mean? And we all want the sexy left-handed laser throwing running, quarterback. But I just don't know that we need that to win. I'm not saying Penix won't be good. I'm not saying Penix can't be great, okay? He could stay healthy, be great, win a Super Bowl. Who knows? Will it be for us? I don't know. Someone else? Who knows? But my point is that I like the idea of the best or one of the best offensive linemen first, because it's most likely going to pan out, okay? Offensive linemen that are, bouncers. Okay, if you offer them a job as a bouncer at another place, they're usually still really tough bouncers. Whoever shows up, they're going to get bounced out the front door if they mess around at the bar. Okay, so that's who I want. I want these brawlers, just bar bouncers that are going to be up there in the early first round. I want that kid from Oregon State. If we pick him, then you can see Gardner Minshew, AOC fight it out. Whoever wins, let's roll. And I'm ready with the defense we have. But go with a defensive back with your second pick. If you do that, now you got Jack Jones. You got this, hustler coming in up against Jacorian Bennett, who's got a year ahead of him, et cetera, et cetera. It just, I like everything about where we're going. Just real quietly, Antonio Pierce has us doing that. You know what I mean? Cleaning up Josh McDaniels' mess. Gardner doesn't get scared, but he's also not the long-term solution. If the guy you want is available, make the move and go get him. Matthew Fagan, welcome to the show. I got to say, I like your comment, but I would jump on it by saying this. I think that winning a Super Bowl is what you do with the quarterback you have, and all of these quarterbacks in the league, most of them that are starters, not all of them obviously, but most of them can win. They can. And I believe that AOC has the size, the arm, and the smarts to bring all of it together, be an accurate quarterback, which he already was coming out of college, and then he's going to get that time with this offensive line if we do what I'm thinking in the first round. If we pick an amazing offensive lineman, the guys will flourish. They will flourish. And by the way, then we'll never really know in the long term, was it them or was it the offensive line? Because we all know if you've got just a solid offensive line, you're going to have that quarterback back there standing up, throwing the ball for a while. And by the way, since we're talking about it, let's throw a little wrench in this conversation just real quick. And let me remind everyone that the offensive coordinator, Luke Getsy, that we brought in from the Chicago Bears, who also brought his quarterbacks coach with him, they run the ball. They're a running ball offensive line, offensive game style of coaching from Luke Getsy. He wants to run the ball. So even if AOC wins the spot, no matter Gardner, no matter who wins it, we're going to be running the ball. That's why you notice we went and got Madison quick. It's only on a 1-year deal, but the guy, have you seen him? He's just a brick house. So him for veteran presence and Zamir White to give him a chance to be the guy. And then, is Zamir White committed? In other words, and again, going back to my experience in this, if Zamir White has a football game and then instead of going out to the club, instead of going out, period, I'm not trying to stereotype him, just don't go, even if you just go get your lovely wife and go to dinner. No. Get your butt in the hyperbaric chamber, get your butt in some hot tub for 20, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, get out and do some ice and stem on your muscles, then get in the hyperbaric chamber and go to sleep. You know what I mean? If this really means something to you, if making all these millions really means something to you. Because I'm looking right into the camera and I'm telling you right now, I was an athlete. I was real good. And if I had that kind of money and that kind of coaching around me, you better believe that is exactly how I would live my life. Sure, I might have a woman that I'm in love with who lives in the house with me and everything, but that doesn't mean she has to come into the hyperbaric chamber with me. Love and all that kind of things that end up making little Tommies. You can do all that in the other room. How do we get on this subject? Hey, I'm a father of 4. forgive me. Salute right back to you, John. The Lion. Leon, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Matthew Fagan. What? Would you take J.J. McCarthy in the second round? John Leon, I know there's been a lot of talk that J.J.'s falling down. But I'm hearing two things. They don't think he has a change of pace. In other words, he can only throw the laser and the deep ball and the laser, but he can't just kind of take a deep breath and let one go that just sails 7 yards. Let the guy, just run underneath the ball, catch it like you're throwing a baby. You know what I mean? He's not good at that. In fact, I heard really bad. The tackle you were talking about that you said was from Oregon, I thought he was in Penn State, or am I thinking about someone else? You are absolutely thinking about someone else. The kid from Oregon State is, hang on, I've got it right here. Just got to pull it up again. Okay, the kid from Oregon State is Talisi Fuaga. The guy with the last name from Penn State, I think it sounds just like his first name. It's easy to get all these guys confused. There's right now, some Tuafasas and Fuagas, and there's just so many Polynesian guys, and their names are so similar, it's hard to get them all straight sometimes. Stephen Shaw, I appreciate that. I'm doing real good, brother. I'm doing real good. Draft Fever, woo! Let's go. No bust picks. Draft some quality starters and depth. Ramiro, cash flow, Castro, bringing the knowledge. If we drafted Penix, we would have to adjust our offense for a left-handed quarterback, then have to readjust for the backup. That's why I would not draft Penix. Well, I would go even further than that, John, although those were great points. I don't like the idea of the makeup of the team becoming about the kid. You know what I mean? Because you know as well as I do, it's all anyone's going to be talking about. All the fans, when's Penix going to be ready? The press are going to say, when are you going to get Penix out there? There's going to be, this disrespect of Gardner Minshew and AOC as though they're, chopped liver. We want to see Penix, you know what I mean? I don't like the idea of bringing that vibe to the Raiders. I don't like it. If you look at where we are right now, the attitude of the team right now, it's perfect. It's perfect. AOC is doing nothing but acting like a classy professional. He's already said he doesn't feel threatened by Gardner Minshew, that they're both going to fight for the job and let the better man win. That's what you're supposed to say, but he said it well, and he said it immediately after Gardner was signed. I just thought that was really classy. I think Gardner is just a classy, cool guy. So just everything, the whole vibe right now at quarterback, at running back is nice. You know what I mean? Excited, ready to go. That quarterback, excited, ready to go. It's Zamir White at running back. You know what I mean? Now, where Devontae Adams' head is, that's hard to say. I've never been very pleased with all the Devontae Adams chirping, talking. He talks to the press to me too much, and then wonders why they go at him when something comes up in the press. You know what I mean? It's because you talk too much. You know what I mean? But at the same time, he's said over and over again, I don't want to learn with a rookie. I don't want to learn again with a rookie. Well, AOC's not a rookie anymore, so I guess we got through that. But then again, if he gets Penix, I don't know. Is he going to be happy with that if we were trying to groom him? I don't know. And also, just to put it to bed real quick, because I know some of you are probably, at least one or two of you are probably ready to ask this. Is Devontae Adams going to be lost by the Raiders? I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think that there's a chance that we use him in some kind of trade, but I would be honest when I say to you, I don't think that's likely. I think it's possible, but I don't think that's likely. Because if you use him in some sort of trade, like, for example, you could use Devontae Adams as opposed to going with all first-round picks to trade up, you know what I mean? Because a team like, the Patriots or the Cardinals would love an opportunity of getting Devontae Adams. You know what I mean? Yikes. Okay. Plus, I forget. I always forget this because we get caught up in all this spin about all these students, but college kids coming up. But Thayer Munford, man, he had a leap forward last year. I mean, I already liked Thayer Munford, but now to see him play as well as he did coming toward that end stretch last year, whoever comes in and tries to take that right tackle spot, even if it is the guy Fuaga that I really like, I don't know, man. I don't know. If he had come last year, Fuaga, I'd say Thayer Munford would have got outplayed. But now, after Thayer's had a whole nother season and in the fire, and he was out there for a lot of games and played really well, now I don't care who he sees coming out of the country from, the NCAAs, he's going to say, bring it on, little boy. You know what I mean? Because Thayer Munford can play now. Mark Vargas said, we need a quarterback for the future, so we need to step up. Honestly, why do we need a quarterback for the future? Why are we thinking about the future? See, we've got to stop talking like that because that's not the NFL anymore. I'm being honest, it's just not the NFL anymore. Look at how many teams in the last few years went from lousy to great and won a Super Bowl. And before we've gotten back, by the way, which is embarrassing. You know what I mean? But, the Rams just did it. The Rams were kind of good, then they were sort of good, then they kind of did a little remix and sent their quarterback off to Detroit, and they won a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? The Niners have gone twice with Shanahan. And they're 0-2. That has nothing to do with what we were talking about. I just wanted to bring that up. I really hope Niner Beto, my good friend who is a diehard Niner fan, is watching because I told him to his face that his Niners were not going to win a Super Bowl. And every time they make it to the Super Bowl, I tell them they're not going to win, man. And then they don't. Benny Arriaga, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Lauren Finn, he should have never been news. Strippers were more excited than we were. Okay. I still chuckle when I think of Jimmy Garoppolo's name and performance-enhancing drugs in the same sentence. Right? And what were they for? Were they for football or were they for his other sport that he's been nicknamed the G-Man for? This is a family show. Matt Marinovich, to be the man, you have to beat the man. Woo! Minshew beat the Raiders in the last game in Oakland, and he beat the Raiders while he was in Indy last year. Yes, Matt Marinovich, I know that. And now that he's a Raider, I try not to bring that up. We'd like Gardner Minshew to be comfortable here. Not have all of us glaring at him because he gave us the business last year. And he did. That guy's ball hard, man. He plays football like he's just, like a little crazy banshee. He just goes for it on every play, and I love that guy. Lauren! Finn! Appreciate the love on the stars, and don't forget, stars contributed to the show go directly to charities like Punks for Autism, which is awesome. And this year, Punks for Autism actually booked Public Enemy to do a concert to earn funds with ticket sales that go directly to autism research. How's that for Punks for Autism coming up? And by the way, don't let me forget to remind you, my brother was the forefather creator of Punks for Autism. So we're really excited for him. It's really cool. Yeah, we need another Charlie Woodson type. We do need that. Greg Lloyd, what's up? Welcome to the show. Troy Gill, I keep hearing that the Raiders are trading AOC and drafted a quarterback. Please let me know if this is true, Bear. I hope not. Rather trade down more picks. Okay, they're not going to trade down. I'm trying to get everyone to understand that. They're not going to trade down. Is it still possible? Of course. But you're talking about a guy who in 11 years with the Chargers never traded down. I don't think he thinks it's smart. I think he thinks that instead of trading down to amass picks to build a team in the future, which is weird. I don't even like how that sounds anymore. Where in reality, don't you want to win next year? Yeah. I mean, if we don't want to win next year, what are we doing? It's like we're making an admission that we're not going to win next year. Are we going to do that? Do you believe we have no chance next year? I mean, I could understand that if you were like the Cardinals, but they're a whole hot mess. We're not that. We're a damn good team. A couple pieces away from being really, really good. So I don't give a damn about the future. I want to win now. And to me, win now is not bringing in a puppy quarterback that's going to confuse the team, that might force the coach into putting him out there because the owner sees all the excitement. Oh, he's one of the highest jersey sellers. And then all the box office ticket selling crap is going to figure in, and then we're going to be another team that's not winning because we didn't handle our situation properly. Can we not do that? I mean, I've still got sore feelings about losing Josh Jacobs. I just want to say that out loud. I did not like that. I understood it. You know what I mean? Because it was a long time coming. Josh was not happy. The Raiders would not show him respect. And I would be honest with you when I say that Josh Jacobs knew he was going somewhere. I mean, he may not have known it was Green Bay, but he knew he wasn't going to be with the Raiders much longer. Because I think he made up his mind the moment he had control of his contract, he was going to bounce. Because he knew other teams would be interested. He knew he would get at least somewhat of a raise. So yeah, I'm out of here. I mean, the guy was running at a Hall of Fame pace. At one point in his third year, he had more yards and touchdowns than Marcus Allen and Bo Jackson. Raider Mount Rushmore of greats. And he was ahead of them. He won whole games for us. You know what I mean? There were games where he just carried us. Ran for 145 yards, scored 2 touchdowns. The second touchdown was the breakaway one. I remember correctly because I was in a bar at the time, and it felt like there was an earthquake because so many people were going, ah! Like the walls were shaking. That was Josh Jacobs, and we lost that. That sucks to me. And if you thought that I was taking it well because I hadn't really talked about it, I'm not taking it well. I was really pissed about that. I just thought that was a really bad look. You know what I mean? We brought him in. He ends up being great. You know what I mean? He gets hurt, fights through pain, fights through injuries for us, gets all these big yards. Then we disrespect him about paying him. And what does he do? He goes, okay. You know, goes out there, plays great again. You know, never had a bad season, never looked bad, never looked like he was acting like, I don't want to be here. Every time he got the ball, he went out and he killed himself for the Raiders. And then we let him go. I hope Green Bay wins. I really do. I hope Green Bay wins. You know what I mean? I want to see that kid have success. I really do. Now, if he faces us and it's like the playoffs or something, well, you know, he's got to go down. But I hope that kid has great success. I thought Josh Jacobs was awesome. Hey, R8RBEAR, I'm having my brother's funeral tomorrow. Will you give a shout out to Mike Lloyd? Thank you. Mike Lloyd! God love you, brother. From your brother. There's a rumor on Facebook that Dallas wants to trade Prescott for Carr. You remember they were saying, well, what about, you know, Dak Prescott to the Raiders? That was it. I told you guys that was just hype. All that was clickbait. When you get that kind of stuff, you come to me and I tell you all that is clickbait. Just hear me out, you know what I mean? Because what are we going to do? Pay Dak, you know, a gajillion dollars like we know he's going to want, right when he comes in the door, when we're sitting here in the middle of trying to build a team that's this close to being a winner. And by the way, girls, whenever you describe anything to a man, never, ever do this. We take it personally. This is a family show. Mr. R8RBEAR, Grampy said kids give me a little bitty sip of his wine if I shouted, Raiders! I did it for him. Let the kid have a sip. Come on. What's the big deal? It's a sip of wine. Oh, Bear, why do we always get crazy around draft time with all this speculation on drafting? Well, because it is, come on, you have to admit, some of it's fun, you know what I mean? It's just that I think the problem is they get started too soon, you know what I mean? They get started months ahead of time, you know, and they start talking to us about who's available and who's coming out of Oregon State and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, and they do it so much and it draws attention because what else are they supposed to be talking about right now? You know what I mean? It's a dead period for baseball and football and hockey. You know what I mean? All you got right now is broke down Tiger Woods limping around the golf course still trying to pretend he's who he always was. A bum. Don't get me started on Tiger Woods. I hate him more than LeBron, and that's saying a lot. No, don't you football only me, Glenn Medina. Mark Vargas, I like Spencer Rattler, but what I would say about Spencer Rattler is he has a big arm, but I've heard he's somewhat of a game manager. Now, personally, I don't have a problem with that, but I've heard scouts say that he's a game manager, and they're saying it in a negative way. In other words, that he's going to protect stats, he's going to protect the ball, which to some of us as fans translates to he's not aggressive enough. which I don't know how else you can parse it. I mean, either he's aggressive and he tries to make plays down the field, or he thinks there'll be interceptions and get turned into turnovers. He doesn't want to hurt the club and his own stats, so he pulls the ball back down and maybe runs with it, throws it away, or throws it underneath to his, bubble screen valve receiver or someone on a slant, etc., etc. I'm interested in who picks up Kool-Aid McKinstry. Matthew, it is interesting because with his controversy, he's going to drop some. And so because of him dropping some, who's going to be the team that says, I don't care about the press, let me give the guy a shot? That could be interesting because it could end up being us because that guy can ball. What AP got up his sleeve? Craig Dominguez, what I think he has up his sleeve is just plain and simply, he knows what he wants. And I'm not sure if the Jaden Daniels thing, I just don't know if that's true. I think that the Commanders may have made up their mind that that's who they want, but I don't know. I just don't know for sure if that's really what they're going to do. I think some other team is going to be worried about them potentially taking that Drake May kid, and someone may go up to get that spot to prevent the Commanders from getting what is their guy, Drake May. Then the Commanders drop down, there's X amount of picks, 2 maybe tops, and then you're right back to either the Patriots if there's 1 pick, or the Cardinals if there's 2, and maybe potentially making a deal with one of them. And Jaden Daniels potentially still being on the board. Don't need a quarterback, in my opinion, this year. We need to build an O-line and a D-line next year, get a quarterback. D-line is nice already. D-line's nice already. We re-signed our 2 middle interior guys. Tyree Wilson is bound to blossom. We bring in the kid Wilkins from the Dolphins. He's all pro. Max Crosby, Kuntz. I mean, we've got a lot going on the defensive line. Now, although I want to hesitate and just say, I'm still not completely convinced about Malcolm Kuntz. So if it was about that, maybe I would look 4th round, maybe 5th round for a defensive end, and then maybe those useless, wasted 7s that go like 60, 70, 80 picks later, maybe I'd throw that at one of these defensive ends and just see if it pans out. Because sometimes you never know. You just never know where that diamond in the rough's going to be. Stephen Lee said, I live in Central Florida and my buddies are Jaguar fans, and they loved Gardner. Now, Stephen Lee, I really appreciate that because that's what I'm trying to get the nation to get behind. The guy is a football player. You know what I'm saying? He just shows up like, what's up, guys? Let's do this. And then it just, you know what I mean? It comes naturally to him. He's a professional player. Remember David Ortiz, the big smash hitting designated hitter for the Boston Red Sox? See, toward the end of his career, those last 5-6 years, he pretty much was just a paid bat. You know what I mean? He was just going up there. He's just giving you slugger numbers. Now, no, it's not that he couldn't hit doubles and triples, and so he didn't have the speed anymore for triples. But he still could slap the ball all over the yard, but he was mostly a power guy. I feel like when we got Gardner, immediately AOC is put on, this guy is a professional quarterback. Wherever he lands well. Okay, this guy is like a cat. You drop him from a building, he flips around, floats, lands on his feet like no problem. I don't know how many of you have seen those videos on YouTube, but they were showing cats that were falling from like 30 stories. And I was like, oh my God, they can show this on YouTube? And the cat's just falling, and then all of a sudden it flips over to its belly. It spreads all 4 of its legs out, and it looked almost like a raccoon. And he starts paragliding. He slowed himself down, and then he hit the ground and just bounced for a second, and he kind of went like that, and he landed again. And he was hurt, but he didn't break his legs. He didn't break his feet or anything. I think if I remember correctly, he bit through his gum. One of his teeth went through his gum, so he was bleeding a little bit. But for falling from 20 plus stories, and that's all you got, I was impressed. I say we trade Adams. He is unhappy, in my opinion. Glenn Medina, I'm starting to agree, because how many teams go on to win Super Bowls that really have a superstar wide receiver anyway? You know what I mean? Most of these teams that go on to win, that's why when Buffalo did what they did with Diggs, I applauded that. You know what I mean? I applaud Buffalo for having the balls to say, you know what? We don't care if you're a Terrell Owens, Randy Moss level wide receiver. We don't care. Okay, we're trying to win with a team concept where everyone is involved with everyone winning. You're not like that, so get out. We don't care if you may be the best weapon we have. Get out. See, personally, I loved that. I did. I loved that. I don't think enough teams show the balls that Buffalo did to when you have a guy like that. Just say, enough. I mean, you saw it way back in the day when Odell Beckham Jr. was with the Giants. The guy's an all-pro. He's super fast. Everyone's excited about him. He's doing these catches behind his ear. And then what does he do? He goes on yachts with girls and no shirt on with his other players and taking all these Jodeci album cover photos. Look at me and my muscles. Come on, man. Send Adams to the Jets for a pick. I like that. The Niners are chokers like the Dodgers. Well, not only do I agree with that, and I'm not a Dodger hater, but I am because I know a lot of people in here right now are watching me are Dodger fans. So I want to be clear, I'm not a Dodger hater, but the Dodgers used to always seem to play for moments. You know what I mean? They were like they acted like their baseball games were a part of a movie every night. And they were still really good and they won games, but it just seemed like they were looking for the dramatic drama hit, the dramatic drama, presence of the pitcher getting the strikeout and pumping his fist as the fireworks go off. They seem to always get in those situations. And to me, a team that looks to be that way so often, usually you're going to lose when, more often than not, when you keep wanting to play right on the edge of a knife. And that just seemed like their way. I don't know if that makes sense, but it did in my mind when I thought it. Raider Speedy, Rick Samrano, and I will be going live after 9 p.m. cut. Nice, Anna. Oh, and I'm sorry, Greg Lloyd. Sorry for your loss. And I see other people, Steeler Val, and other people are saying sorry for your loss, brother. Yeah, Anna Diaz, we do know whose fault it was. It was Josh McDaniels, but at the same time, there's no reason why Mark couldn't have stepped in. Mark could have stepped in, Antonio Pierce could have stepped in, and instead, just nothing. Not the inches. Raider Bear, Tommy shouted as soon as he wrote that and he got his sip, but Val made sure was only a little one. That's good, Val. You're such a great mom. James Walker and Princetta Walker in the house. What's up, guys? Welcome to the show. Good friends of mine in the house. JJ McCarthy rumoring us again at 8. We trade with Atlanta. I actually heard about that. I don't know if I like J.J. McCarthy, to be honest with you, but what I do know is that he would be one of those guys that, just like with Penix, we'd be bringing him in to be the groomed third quarterback. That's not because they're not capable of being starters. It's just because what we have right now is perfect in place. You have an experienced veteran quarterback in Gardner Minshew. You have an up-and-coming young quarterback in AOC. And then whatever rookie comes in, we can just click him right into number 3 and let him just learn. And to be honest with you, Penix and J.J. McCarthy, in my opinion, definitely fit into that category. Again, not because they're not talented enough, but there's things about the NFL that they obviously have to learn. I don't trust any of these quarterbacks that come in from college until I actually see them play. And the only reason I say that is because so many college kids nowadays, they're being used by the coaches at these colleges, and they let the player play, and then they run an offense that isn't a pro-style offense, that isn't running against pro-style defenses, and then they go to the NFL, and it's like, you know what I mean? They don't understand the terminology. They don't understand what it means when a defense flexes and looks like they're in a 3-4, and it suddenly turns into a dime, and you got nowhere to throw the ball, and you thought everyone was going to be open a moment earlier. Or they switch up and they blitz from that position, making it look like it's a dime, and suddenly you've got two corners diving in at you unblocked, and you have to make a decision in a second and a half, or you're going to get your head driven into the ground. So it's tough, you know what I mean? And these kids, I just think everyone that comes in, I just think the era of a quarterback coming in, being that rookie guy and just suddenly taking over the team, I think that era is gone. What's up, Bo? What's up, Poe? Oh, his daddy's boys. Oh, so good boy. There's your good boy. AP is on that field during practices. He knows what he sees in our strengths and our weaknesses. Yeah, Vicky, honestly, that's a great comment. I don't have any doubt that AP is gonna help us with our picks in the draft. Jaden Daniels doesn't want to play for Washington, Bear. Mark Vargas, I'll be honest with you, that has been said. I think Jaden Daniels is trying to flex his way to the Raiders. If it happens, it happens. I like him obviously more than I would like Penix. Although I like Penix, I just think that there's less risk with a guy like Jaden Daniels. Raging Raider Rhino in the house. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Always there for Raider Bear. And your daughter looks stunning today. Stunning. So cute. Travis McNeil. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. JJ McCarthy rumoring to us again at 8 with trade with Atlanta. Raging Raider Rhino, just before you came on, we were talking about that, and I was basically just saying that the only thing about JJ I've heard is that he doesn't have a change-up pitch. That everything is shotgun, throw it hard, you know what I mean? And then when it's time to take something off and throw something accurate that's short and underneath, bubble screens, things like that, I've heard that he's having some struggles with that. Even his pro day, it was just launch. You know, he was just throwing all these missiles, showing how strong his arm was. And even with my meager experience as a football evaluator, just kidding, it's 30 plus years over here of watching football, okay? And I'm just telling you honestly, as a talent evaluator, when I watched him, I just thought, what is he doing? You know, all you're doing is throwing these bombs and showing us that you can hit these guys really deep. Or he would throw like one corner route, you know, one little hook route. But those are still pretty deep, where right when the guy turns, he just has to throw a laser on him. You know, he didn't really show that he could change up, come down, and throw the soft stuff, or come back, look at the deep thing, then come to the other side and hit some. You know, it was his pro day, and they just orchestrated it poorly, in my opinion. Yeah, Mark Vargas is an A's fan, Mama Bear. Nice. Right? Brandon Ayuk follows a few different Raiders and was also coached by AP. Raging Raider Rhino, again, I know that from Arizona, the whole thing with Ayuk. I just don't know if I like Brandon Ayuk. You know what I mean? I'm not saying the kid can't play, but I don't know if I like Brandon Ayuk. Now, if we moved Devontae Adams, then I say you should make a move because we would need a 1. But outside of that, I'm not all on board. Stephen Marchant said, you have the best show, Raider Bear. I'm ending on that.
You still have to send him his package.
I'm ending on that, right? Alexa, play Hide by NASA.
Here's Hide.
Oh, man, and honey, don't get the dogs all fired up. All right, that's my show. Much love. Shout out to our armed forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, National Guard, Space Force. For all you do, the energy and love of this show is dedicated to your sacrifice. Active and veteran from Raider Bear and Mama Bear. Much love. And we got a whoop whoop from the redheaded wonder. Good night to you, Troy Gill. Good night, Steven Shaw. Good night, Vicky Ginn. Good night, Anna Diaz. Don't forget to catch Anna Diaz and Rick Samarano. They're on at 9 right after me. Right now, hurry up. You're late for their show. Anna, get out of here. You're getting a late start. And don't you dare blame it on me when you start your show, Anna. God bless you, Greg. Much love to you, brother. Tony Carpenter Evans. Mwah. Good night, love. Make sure you give your son a sock right below the belt from me, Raider Bear. We're going to make that kid's nuts drop any day now. Get him! Get him, Bo! Yeah, get him! Who won? Who won that round? All right, that's it. That's my show. Much love. I'll see you soon. Raider Bear family page. Peace! Peace! Round 2, Mortal Kombat! Go! Get it! More blood next time, Frenchies. They're just tired. They just ate